All right, what is going on, everybody? This is Trudger MC, and today we're going to be taking a step back to 1997, I believe, and we have here ToyBiz. This isn't Hasbro Marvel. This is ToyBiz Marvel. Um, we have Marvel Comics X-Men Robot Fighters. And this is Jubilee with a grabbing sentinel hand with projectile finger and a warning, but that's not the name of the toy. So we have Jubilee here, who is actually my favorite X-Men character, and grabbing sentinel. So got a sentinel hand there. This must be like a danger room type thing. I didn't know really anything about this until I saw this on eBay, and I'm like, dude, I got to get this. I got to check it out because it's like, come on, man, this is cool. So, X-Men Robot Fighters. I didn't previously know anything about this, but it's like, you know what? Let's check it out. Let's see what is going on here. So, we have a little read-up here. So, if you're interested in reading that, you can go ahead and do that. So, that's kind of an overview of the Robot Fighters line. And then we have here a little read-up about the character of Jubilee specifically. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have some instructions there on how the Sentinel thing works. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, 1997 from ToyBiz, not Hasbro. This is ToyBiz. The good old days, as some people say. There's the other Robot Fighters line. The rest of those, I do plan to get them at some point. And then you also have some classic Spider-Man animated series figures. I think that's pretty cool. They need to have a Shocker figure. If they don't have that, they need Shocker. Yeah, so there's that, and there's not really a whole lot else going on. But yeah, I guess without any further ado, let's open this up, see what we got going on here. So let's check it out. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, that is satisfying. Oh my goodness. They need to make more packaging like this because it's so satisfying to open that. And then there we go. That is what we got there. All right. So here we go. This is what we got going on. Here is Jubilee. And looks like she doesn't have a lot of articulation, but that's okay. All right, so there is Jubilee there, and here is the Sentinel hand. All right, cool. So yeah, looks like we okay. All right, so yeah, here is Jubilee or Jubilation Lee. Like I said, she is my favorite of the X-Men because for me, when I think of X-Men, you know, it's like a group of people with superpowers, and, you know, the public doesn't really have the best opinion of them, so I think it would only be natural to have sort of a younger character, like a teenager, who's like, I have these powers, and I don't know what's going on, you know, should I be scared? Should I, you know, be considered a freak? So you're going to get a very human perspective from that whole thing with the character of Jubilee. That's why I like her so much. Now, you're going to notice right off the bat that this is a smaller figure. ToyBiz didn't really, you know, they didn't make 1/12 or 1/10 scale. I think this is more in line with 1/12. So here's an older Spawn figure from around the same time, obviously made by a different company, but looks like that's about the right scale because Jubilee is supposed to be a smaller character. Now, as far as how tall she is, looks like from the bottom of her shoe to the top of her head, looks like she's about 5¼ inches or so, give or take. And then going from the bottom of her shoe again to the top of her head using metric, looks like she's about 13 centimeters. So, yeah, she's got some... She's not very tall, but again, I think that's appropriate for the scale that they were trying to do. Obviously, she's not going to fit in with 1/10 scale. That looks wrong, but yeah, so I think it works. Now, as far as look is concerned, this is obviously not the Jubilee costume that everybody knows, because I stand by the Jubilee is the only character that can pull off a yellow trench coat and make it look cool. Anyone else, that wouldn't really work. So she doesn't come with her yellow trench coat. Instead, she has kind of like here's what I see with this. I'm a really big fan of the original Bryan Singer X-Men movie, the one from 2000. And Jubilee was like a background character in that movie, but I pictured that like if she were to go on a mission with them, she'd wear something like this. Because like it wouldn't be like an all black suit like they had, because she's all about the color, but those suits were all about practicality. So I feel like she would go with the middle ground and be like, I want color, but they want me to wear practicality, so I'm gonna wear this. So I picture that that's what that would be. Like that's my headcanon. This is the Bryan Singer X-Men Jubilee, even though she was technically in those movies, but whatever. So she's got a cool backpack there. I like that. And she's got some details like, the straps on there. She has an X symbol on there for the X-Men. She's got like these elbow pads. It almost looks like these elbow pads almost look like she's going roller skating or something like that. And she has, it almost looks kind of like a thwipping hand, like she's Spider-Man or something like that. Or she could be like, yeah, let's go rock and roll, yeah, something like that. I don't know. Because she doesn't really, as far as I know, she doesn't really go like this to use her firework powers. And speaking of that, she doesn't come with anything for firework powers, but that's fine. And then for her legs, looks like she has knee pads again, like she's going roller skating. So it's kind of like a DIY superhero costume. So I actually really think that's cool. I like the homemade DIY type superhero outfits, like Tom Holland's very first Spider-Man suit in Captain America Civil War that he wears in Homecoming as well, where it's like, it's like a prototype suit. I think that was really cool. So I really like that whole type of thing. And you got like well, it was the 90s, so you got to have a pouch, on the leg, and got like X symbols on there. And yeah, so that's about it for the aesthetic. And then as far as articulation is concerned, I could tell right off the bat that this thing wasn't going to have a lot of articulation. So the head can move like that. So doesn't really have any up and down, but it does rotate. For the arms, you get a ball joint, not unlike what we see with some figures today with their ankles. But for this one, it's for the shoulders. So looks like both of her shoulders can go up about that far. Now it looks like she's doing some sort of a disco thing. But yeah, so there's that. And then they do rotate, so you can do that kind of thing. Nothing in the elbows or wrists or anything like that, so she's just kind of like that. And then for her legs, they can rotate. Oh my goodness, it looks like she just broke her leg, but they can do that, and they can go forward. Okay, so she can do a really awkward splits. Again, it looks like she just broke both of her legs, but whatever. So there is that going on, and there's really nothing else with the ankles or knees or feet or anything like that. So really, that's about all that we have for Jubilee. And I forgot to mention, but she does have her sunglasses there. That's how you know it's Jubilee, if she has her pink sunglasses, if my thing will focus on the sunglasses. There we go. So now I guess let's look at this thing. So yeah, just out of curiosity, looks like this thing is about going from the bottom of those bolts or whatever to the top of its finger. Looks like it's about like 4 3/4 inches, something like that. And then flipping that around, it looks like it is like 12.5 centimeters, something like that. So looks like it does have articulation in these fingers, these 3 fingers. They can go back that far, and they can go in like that. The thumb and the index finger doesn't look like... Whoa! Okay, well, the index finger doesn't move because it's a projectile. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, so there is a button on here. I was wondering what that was. And, yeah, you do that, and that is really strong. Yeah, so that shoots out the index finger there. It's kind of interesting. And then I do like the caution tape thing. I think caution tape has a really cool aesthetic to it. And you got like an arrow pointing to the hand. Okay. then, like I said, it looks like you got, oh my goodness, look at the detail there. That's really cool. Yeah, so you got like these hydraulic pistons or whatever. And I don't know if this is meant to be a thing that like this is an actual hand of a Sentinel that the X-Men defeat and they put in the Danger Room, or if this is supposed to be, like a recreation of that. Yeah. The robot fighters push the, yeah, so robot built as successfully. Okay, so yeah, it's just like a replica of it. But speaking of the box, it did give directions for what this thing can do. It says pull tentacle in and out manually. Pointer fingers, projectile fingers are okay. So really, we went over 3, and I accidentally discovered 2. So yeah, really the only other thing is that with 1, you can have this claw that comes out, and can it open? It cannot open. But I guess what you can do is you can have it grab Jubilee and her to be like, firework power, and she doesn't have any firework accessories, but you can just pretend it's like, and then the hand will retract, so it's like, oh no, I've been defeated, wah. So, yeah, oh my goodness, look at that. Wait a minute, 1996. This says 1996 on it, even though the package says 1997. I don't know what the deal is with that. But yeah, so I guess that is about all that we have going on there. So I feel like with this whole thing, this is a bit of an acquired taste, because it's like, you know, if you aren't really into this sort of thing, I totally get it. You wouldn't like this. But for me, I like these old gimmick toys because I actually wasn't around when these specifically were made, but I do remember gimmick toys that were similar to this. I started collecting Star Wars figures back in the day, and some of them kind of had this sort of thing going on that's like, wait a minute, this wasn't from the Star Wars movies, but it's its own thing. I'm like, you know what, I like it. So I really like this whole kind of aesthetic, like design or whatever. So I think this is cool, and like I said, I do have plans. As of right now, I don't have the other robot fighters figures, but hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. So yeah, that's about all I have with this. So if you know more about the Robot Fighters line or the ToyBiz era, or you like the ToyBiz era of Marvel figures, or you like Jubilee, or you like this review, or whatever, if you like any of it, then leave a like, because that would be cool. And if you have any other opinions on anything with this, then do be sure to subscribe, and, or leave a comment with, anything that you might have, and then with staying tuned for other reviews. Like I said, I do have reviews of this kind of stuff, but then also some of the newer stuff too, so do be sure to subscribe for that if you are interested. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.